Perfect.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. All right. So good morning, everybody. I'll just start first. I'm Stephanie Berdini. I'm a paralegal. I'm a bookkeeper. I'm just a little bit of everything. I'm also the treasurer and secretary for Mountain Women in Business. So if you see me typing, I'm not working. I'm just taking notes. So I'm absolutely paying attention. So dues are $48 this year. Due anytime you want to pay. I know a lot of people have paid. You can mail me a check. You can Zelle me some funds. If you have any questions, I'll put my contact information in the chat, and you can just reach out. All right, so let's just start. I'll just go write it down my screen. It looks like Audra. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Audrey Krebs. I'm with Caliber Home Loans. We are a residential mortgage lender, so that means that we lend on properties of 1 to 4 units. Today, I just wanted to briefly focus on student loans because I've had a lot of questions come up lately with people that just didn't understand why we were pre-approving them the way that we were. So depending on what sort of loan that you're obtaining, if you have student loans, even if they're in deferment, unless you're applying for a VA loan, we have to include a debt associated with that. So that could be as much as, let's just say, for example, you have $100,000 in student loan debt, or you're co-signed on your daughter's or son's student loans, and the balance is $100,000. That means we may have to potentially include $500 to $1,000 a month against your qualifying income. So whenever you have a student loan or anybody that you know is purchasing, refinancing, either they're the owner or the co-signer of it, please just have them talk with their lender prior to going out and looking at homes, because that could greatly impact how much they're going to be approved for. So Audrey Krebs, Caliber Home Loans, and happy to be here.
Great information. Lisa Hemstreet, good morning.
Good morning. I am Lisa Hemstreet. I am your photo and video person. I help people save, organize, share, but most importantly, protect and enjoy those photos and videos. So if one of your goals this year is to declutter and get rid of some of that clutter in your life, we can get things scanned, we can get things off of your devices, off of your phones, and back into your life. So printing canvas for your wall, or a book, or something as simple as a coffee mug. Just start enjoying all those photos and videos that you've been taking all these years. So if you need any help in that area with photos and videos, I can help you.
Great. Fun to work with too, Lisa. You're helpful and just super fun to work with, so thank you. Okay, Kim, good morning.
Hi, I'm Kim Tresnak. I have Granny T Woodworks, and I do woodworking projects. I make aspen lamps, plaques, coat hook, key hooks, coasters. I do a lot of my selling from craft shows and stuff, but I do some commissions. But basically, I do any kind of woodworking. I love making boxes and do wood burning on the front of them. So that's kind of mine.
Great. I would really love to get you connected with Peggy at Colorado Furniture, because she has some great artists in there with some really good stuff, and your stuff I think would fit in nicely.
I did talk to her on last Tuesday. I talked to her. Yay. And I'm going to take some stuff down to her so she can, we did talk pricing, and she really wants my lamps that I have. So I'll probably be taking those down to her, and some of the plaques that I've done wood burning and stuff on.
So
yes, I did connect with her.
Yay. Okay, great. All right, Alicia, good morning.
Good morning, Alicia Sexton, Remax Alliance in Evergreen. We also have an office in Conifer. Residential real estate and luxury and resort. Been in business for 22 plus years now, and with Remax for 20 years. And our market is already starting out crazy, as you may imagine. So very low inventory. There were 16 in Evergreen. In the whole market of Evergreen, 16 listings, 4 in Conifer, 3 in Pine, and 7 in Bailey. So it's already, we're seeing a tough market out there.
Tight. Wow. Well, good luck. Chrissy, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Christy with Healthy Smile Hygiene. I'm the person that you come to for all your preventative dental care, and you get your most thorough cleaning and help treat any gum disease issues. Very relaxed and comfort environment for anybody who has anxiety or is anxious about coming to the dentist. This is the place to be.
Totally agree.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Doja. Doja is a guest, so we're just gonna be not beat up on her and just be nice. No, I'm kidding.
Please be nice. I'm Dosha Boylan. I own Handyman Connection. We are Handyman Connection of Golden, but we go all the way up to Bailey. So I was interested in learning more about you guys. I met somebody and I don't see them on here. But somebody told me about it and invited me. So we're your lifetime connection for all your home improvement needs.
Wonderful. I've definitely seen your name up here in the Conifer and Pine area, so welcome.
And I live in Pine, so.
Okay. All right, Debbie Soka, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing?
Great.
It's good to virtually see you. Frustrates me a little bit, but anyway, yeah, bouncing off the loan and real estate things, it's a slow start to the year. Inventory is practically nothing. Interest rates are starting to creep up. So with that being said, if you're thinking of consolidating debt, doing a cash out to maybe do a project sooner rather than later before the rates go up a little higher would be my best advice this morning. Tagline is first and reverse, because as always, focus on the first time home buyer with down payment assistance, which is still low. However, for the first time in my 10 years, I've seen the interest rates on down payment assistance creep up multiple times in 1 week, which has never, ever happened. It seems to leveled off, and still historically low. I mean, if you can get somebody to cover your down payment and your interest rate is still below 4%, right now it's hovering around 3.75, and they're giving you money, that's still awesome. Through reverse, and I think this year is going to be the year for reverse mortgage. A lot of our seniors are finding out that their pensions, their Social Security is just not getting them what they need. And if they have that equity in their house, well, then there's no reason they should lose their house or have to downsize. Or if they want to downsize, they actually can and purchase with the reverse. It's a whole conversation, and I think that's what I'll devote my time to when I'm the speaker, because it's a complicated but awesome product. So Debbie Solko, Fairway Independent Mortgage, first and reverse, purchasing and refinancing. Thank you.
Great. All right, Katie Johnson, good morning.
Should unmute. Hi, I'm Katie Johnson. I have a LuLaRoe boutique called Vigor and Vim. I moved here in the height of the pandemic from Arizona. I love to help women of all shapes and sizes. So I love to focus on especially helping those in plus sizes, helping them find things, make them feel beautiful and comfortable. But we carry things from extra, extra small to 3XL. So I'll post my information in the chat too, but we have an activewear line, a comfort wear line, a leisure wear line, and just kind of something for everyone. So yeah.
Great. Good. Well, I think that might be good to sign up to be a speaker. Maybe we can see all of your wares. Wares spelled both ways, just for people who get that. Anyway, good morning, Karen Miller. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Steph? Good morning,
Good.
everybody. I'm Karen Miller, KSM Designs. I design one-of-a-kind jewelry. I'm in 3 stores, and I love it. It's a lot of fun. I repurpose, refurbish, and recycle. And I just love what I'm doing. And so if you're looking for something special, especially Mother's Day's coming, Valentine's Day coming for you or for your mom or whatever, just look up the stores at A Brigada in Conifer and the Country Furniture Store also in Conifer, and also Belmar, the Touch of Colorado, which is all handcrafted items. So if you need anything, let me know early if you can, and let me know. Name is Karen Miller, KSMD.
Great. So I was in Abrigada recently, and you have an entire beautiful glass case of all of your stuff, and it really looks great.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, Rebecca, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Rebecca Parent from Parent Technology Solutions. I offer technology solutions for business professionals as well as teaching coding to youth. We have several new courses coming up again this spring, and we also have a new partnership with Leota offering foreign language education in about 5 different languages: English, Spanish, French, and my brain just went blank. Sorry, Portuguese and Mandarin Chinese.
Oh.
And so that's our latest program that we're just bringing out and making available to youth and to adults. So
Wonderful.
that is me. I'll put my contact information in the chat.
Please do. All right, Josie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today?
Great.
So I'm in Indian Hills, and I have a building that we rent out for small meetings, social events, things like that. And then we also do nonprofit management. So we manage like 8 nonprofit associations, and just basically providing administration, bookkeeping, and manage the board of directors, schedule meetings, things like that. So
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to work with the group and Josie to get some type of social put together. I know COVID keeps messing that up, but we are on it, and we definitely want it to happen. So, and it will happen.
I'm excited.
All
I think
right.
it'll be fun.
Yeah. All right, Lori, good morning.
Good morning. I am Lori, the Executive Director for PeaceWorks, Inc. We are a local nonprofit, been providing services in the area for 36 years. We are an anti-violence organization providing services and shelter to victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, teen dating violence, and stalking. We are 1 in 5 in the state where survivors can bring their pets with them. And we are 1 in 10 in the state providing services to sex assault victims outside of domestic violence. And this March 12th, we have our annual spring tea coming up. We're still hoping to do that in person. That will be at the Conifer Community Church on March 12th from 1 to 3. And tickets, you can purchase those online. Thanks.
Great. We will, throughout the time, we'll just keep posting that information on our Facebook page and hope to get it out to everybody. All right, Audrey, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm Audrey Krebs. I'm with Aging Services Consultants, and we provide care management services for older adults as well as referral and placement. And I can tell you that I get calls like right at the very last minute when people are in crisis. And it's kind of a shame, because if people would contact us when they have more choices and they don't have to make a quick decision as to possibly where the family is working to help place mom or dad in a senior living community, or they need immediate care assistance. That's really a shame. And I work as one of my clients, I'm a medical power of attorney, as well as I help people find services that help them to thrive to the best of their abilities. So that's what I do, and give us a call, okay? My information's in the chat. Thanks.
Perfect. Okay, Amber, good morning. Oops.
She has
Maybe.
to unmute.
Well, let's go to Cindy and then I'll come back to Amber if her internet might be messed up. So
Hi,
good morning,
can
Cindy.
you all hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
So sorry I was late. I looked at my phone and I was like, oh, completely spaced on it. My name's Cindy Danson. I'm a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, and a coach. And I blame my oversight. I just had surgery in the last 2 weeks to correct congenital cataract, so I'm a little thrown off. And woohoo! I can see like distance vision for the first time in I don't know, 60 some odd years. I've been wearing glasses and then contacts since I was about 7 or 8, and then contacts since a teenager. So I'm still marveling when I look out the window. So I have a studio in Conifer. I do a lot of stuff on Zoom now just because of the pandemic, although I will do semi-privates and privates and things that are set up either in the studio or elsewhere. And I am starting a meditation class. It'll start with a 6-week basic class, mindfulness class called Everyday Meditation and the Insight Tradition. And that's going to be actually down in Littleton at Peaks Wellness Center. We'll start February 19th and run through March, and then we'll do another one in April. So I'm excited about that. And I'll put my website up there. Everything that I do is there. And I also just recently wrote I'm going to call it a piece, not a blog. It's a little long for a blog, but a piece on what I call the next chapter, which is about conscious aging, which is something I've become very, very interested in. How do we age well from I would say a psycho-spiritual perspective, as well as physical, but this focus is more psycho-spiritual. So thanks, good to be here.
Great, great. Well, I'm happy about your eyes. Having eye issues myself, I really can appreciate being able to see. So, okay. Amber, do you want to try again? Are you with us? There you are. Yes, there you are. Yep.
I seem to be having some issues with my video here, but I think we can talk here. So I'm Amber with Daddy's Homemade Syrup. Good morning, everybody. We have all natural homemade syrup and pancake mix. We currently have over 60 flavors. We actually got website updated here just right before the holidays, so people are actually able to view all of our flavors now. So that's pretty exciting. We do different events. We were at a couple of locations, Abergata in Conifer, Fun and Funky up in Bailey, Sweet Heaton in Evergreen, and they're actually moving to downtown Evergreen, and we're going to be at a pop-up market on February 10th. So I'll make sure I get that information to you guys as well. We're actually, along with our syrup, I'm actually doing a little art project thing that I started, that I kind of put a little blog up on, not really a blog, but LinkedIn. I'm trying to get some art from some local kids here to help with some of the, we're going to get it up to some local businesses up in the Louisville area for some of the Marshall Fire victims, not the victims, but in that area for people to just see some inspirational stuff from some kids. So I like to do some different things with community and different projects like that. So that's kind of my latest project I'm working on.
Great. Lots of good, exciting stuff for you. I hope your 2022 is successful and just everybody already knows your name up here. So I hope that just continues and explodes for you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, so next is Rachel, our co-president.
Rachel was a little slow going this morning, sorry, but good morning. I am Rachel Henderson. I am the owner of Rachel's Creations. Since 1999, I specialize in face painting for events and parties, canvas painting parties, murals, whatever other fun artsy projects people throw my way. And my next event is going to be February 3rd, either from 3 to 5 or 4 to 6. We haven't nailed it down yet, but I'm going to do a Valentine's canvas painting party at the Nature Link in Conifer, right in Kings Valley. It's going to be not necessarily hearts and flowers and Valentine's theme for the painting, but something along those lines that's not too schmoopy. And I think we're gonna have to limit it to about 8 people this time. So I'll send a link or more information about that when able. And other than that, I've been working part-time at Mac Nation since the pandemic started. And that's giving me some steady income. And I do house and pet sitting on the side as well for over 35 years. And that's given me some income until all the artsy stuff picks up again. That's me.
Great, great. Okay, so I think the last person is Deb. Let me just, if I missed anybody, just raise your hand, except Allison, our speaker. Okay, so Deb is also a co-president. I'll let her introduce herself. Let me just mention when Allison starts talking with us, if everybody could mute so that we can all hear her clear, that would be great. Okay, Deb, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. I am a co-president of Mountain Women in Business, and I've got the pleasure of trying to find some awesome speakers for our organization, which brings me right to Allison. Alison Jacobson and I met, oh my God, Allison, I don't know, it was years ago when she was with Safety Mom. And I was with the technology education franchise, and I would see her on Good Morning America and CNN and do all these wonderful safety tips. Got to meet her in person in New York and have a wonderful dinner with she and her husband. And now she works with women entrepreneurs, coaching and mentoring. And we're both in different stages of our life and our business. And she graciously accepted to speak with us today. So Allison, thank you so much. It's wonderful to have you here. And I'm going to turn the microphone to you.
Thanks, Deb. So, and thank you for inviting me, and good morning to everybody. I am actually coming in from Wilton, Connecticut, and I'm sure I don't have as much snow as you, but after this, I'm going out and shoveling. As Deb said, one of the businesses I had was as a safety expert, but right now I am a transformational coach for women in midlife, and I really define midlife as anywhere truly from 40 and up, because it's more of an attitude than anything else. And I work with women in midlife for either professionally or personally, to remember what your dreams and goals were before you took on the role of mom, of caregiver, of friend, of employee, whatever that was, because we're always thinking of those other roles before we think of ourselves. And so I work with women to figure out what it is they really want to achieve personally and professionally, get past the self-doubt, get past the limiting beliefs to really achieve your goals. And today I really wanted to talk a little bit about those 6 mindset shifts you can take to achieve your business goals. A little bit about myself. I actually started my first business when I was 24 years old out in Los Angeles. I had my own boutique PR firm for the entertainment industry. I had 3 women working for me. I was bi-coastal. And within 4 years, I sold it to the world's largest PR firm for high 6 figures, went to work with them, moved back to the East Coast where I had my 4 children, but unfortunately my first died of sudden infant death syndrome in 1997. And that's how I got into the safety space, because while SIDS is unpreventable and unpredictable, childhood accidents can be prevented. So I started doing a lot of spokesperson work, on camera work for a variety of safety products and child safety issues. And as Deb said, I was featured on CNN and other places as well. But then as my kids got older, my second son was diagnosed with intellectual disabilities. I really needed to be around for him more. And then my marriage really went south. I went through a bad divorce, as most are. And because all of the debt was in my name and I was kind of the primary breadwinner, I lost all my money. I had to declare bankruptcy and I had to rebuild myself again. And it took a lot. Like, I was broke. I was at my lowest. And I finally said, what the hell? I'm opening myself up to everybody. And I joined a women's group very similar to this. And people were like, wow, how did you come out of this? I'll have what you're having. And that's how I started my coaching for women. Then went on, met my second husband on Match, who was fabulous, is fabulous. Unfortunately, 4 weeks after we were married, he was diagnosed with primary progressive MS and went from walking at our wedding to being in a wheelchair full time. So now I am the primary caregiver for my husband, my son with intellectual disabilities, and my 85-year-old mother lives with me as well. So I do have my hands full, but I so love what I do. The woman who was talking about nonprofit, I love what you're doing. In addition to my coaching, I also am the CEO for the nonprofit First Candle, which addresses sudden unexpected infant death. It's a 40-year organization. I took it over as CEO 5 years ago and took it from the red into the black into multiple six figures, and did the same with my coaching practice. So I love what I do, and I wanted to share a couple of the mindset things that we need to get past as women, especially because, I don't find this happens a lot with men. And the first is those stories we have, those limiting beliefs that we have about our ability. And, look, we all have those stories from our past, but many of them came from our parents. And thinking about, so for mine, I came from a very solid middle-class background. My dad worked at a paint store all his life. He had a 9-to-5 job. My mom worked in a nursery school. And there was the attitude of be content with what you have. Right? There was no idea of aspiring to be an entrepreneur. They didn't even know what that meant. And so my belief was, just get a job and be happy with what you have and don't aspire for too much. And I always felt different and out of place. And it literally took me moving 3,000 miles away and starting to surround myself with other people that were entrepreneurs, that were creative, that were striving and achieving so much that I realized what I grew up with wasn't facts. It was beliefs. And you can get past those beliefs to create those stories that you want. So, I want you to think about some of the stories you may have heard and think about the role models we still have today as women of successful women, right? They are either looking like Kim Kardashian, who we don't look like, or it's Martha Stewart who goes to jail, right? So that we don't see role models of successful women who look just like us. And that's the problem. But we can get past that and start recreating those stories. So think about that a little bit. I want you to change your stories around. Maybe you grew up thinking being wealthy was bad, or that people would judge you. Maybe you thought you had to be a bitch to succeed, or maybe you thought you just work until you have kids, and then your primary goal has to be, taking care of your kids. And again, that's what I do in my coaching practice. And I actually have a specific course working with women entrepreneurs on how to get past that mindset, right? How to present on camera, how to find that elevator speech and identify that brand, and how to realize you're not selling to people, you're providing them a value. So I work with that with women a lot on that, just to how to get that mindset of being a successful entrepreneur so you can get past that plateau. And I think I've seen a link, Deb's putting up the link to my my website, and you can always chat with me as well. The next one is the imposter syndrome. And man, that is another one where I see women way more impacted than men. Men, if they see a job opening, they could see 2 criteria and say, that's for me. As women, if we don't feel like we meet each one of those criteria, we won't apply for the job. We just won't, right? And even when we are going after new business, when we are going after a client, there's a part of us that once we get it says, I'm going to be found out. I'm not as smart as they think I am. I'm going to fail. And there's a couple of ways that presents itself, right? And if you procrastinate, if you feel like you have to have the perfect website or the perfect logo before you launch your brand, chances are you've got some imposter syndrome going with you on that one. If you feel like, you just constantly get a new job or a new client, and then somehow something happens, you either dislike them or you're just not, hitting your mark on deliverables, chances are you're self-sabotaging. And I can tell you right now, if you don't start changing how you present yourself, because it's not just about, changing your attitude, it's really how you believe in yourself and getting rid of that imposter syndrome. You are constantly going to find ways to self-sabotage. Maybe you've reached a plateau in your business, or maybe, you've been knocked down because of COVID right now. That limiting belief may be, well, I knew I couldn't do it, so I'm just going to stop trying. Getting past that imposter syndrome. And here's a little exercise I want you to think about. Think about some of those limiting beliefs and those imposter syndrome thoughts, right? So say, for example, your imposter syndrome comes up saying, I'm just not as smart as they think I am. It's just luck. I want you to think back about times in your career where you just nailed it. You rocked it on your own. You got accolades. And I want you to write that down, because so often we will remember the bad things, the negative things, and we will just harp on that. And we will absolutely forget the amazing things we've done. So I want you to take some time and write down 3 times you just nailed it. You got the big client, or you won an award, or you got the biggest account of your life. Whatever that is, I want you to write it down. And I want you to remember, A, how it felt, and B, that you did this. Because that's how you start knocking down that imposter syndrome, by showing proof of other ways that you have succeeded. Okay, so that's number 2. First, you got to rewrite those stories, and we can all rewrite the stories and realize the stories are just beliefs. They are not facts. And then the second is start letting go of the imposter syndrome, realizing you are amazing. You are fabulous. Every one of you is an entrepreneur. Just by that fact alone, I know you are fabulous at what you do. You have the courage to do what it takes. You could do that side hustle. You will find ways to pivot. As Deb said, I started off as the safety mom in child safety, but that was no longer ringing true for who I evolved into as a caregiver, as somebody who went through divorce, as somebody who's in midlife. So I changed that role and I still rocked it. Okay, you can too as you evolve. The next thing is the money story. And I apologize, my computer froze and I want to get down to my notes. When we talk about money, and I just did a whole presentation yesterday about money goals and how we get tied up in the energy of money, or not tied up. Money, we are no longer talking about that piece of paper that's green with presidents on it, or those digits that fly through the air, right? Money is not the end all. It's the energy around money. Okay. And what I mean by that is, in business, we always set our goals, right? So maybe it's to double your income or double your revenue this year. That's well and good, but why? Why do you want to, what is that going to buy you? Because what I found is, when you set a goal of saying, I want to make $100,000 this year, okay, what is that $100,000 going to buy you? Is it going to, buy you a second home or a car? Is it going to help you pay off college debt for your kids? What is that goal for that money? Because when you start having that goal, it makes it a lot more tangible and something to really work towards, rather than just having, I want to make $100,000. We also, as women, have to stop thinking of money as bad. Okay. There is no bad or good with energy, it is, oh, somebody's saying, please let me in again, in case somebody didn't see that. Money is that energy, and it's not bad or good. And as women, we think about that. But when we stop worrying, whoops, got it? There you go. You know, we stress so much about the money that it takes us away from where, okay, you're in, good. It takes us away from what our goal is. So whether it is in our professional life or our personal life, I mean, look, no judgment here, but if you've gone through a divorce, many women, it's amazing. Men don't think like this. Women, they go through a divorce, think they're going to be a bag lady living under an underpass, right? And so when they're starting to think about dating, one of the criteria is a successful man, because in the back of our minds, we think we need somebody successful. Okay, right? Hell no, exactly. And it's the same with our business, right? How often are we saying, well, you know, we'll take on this client and they may be difficult and they may not be paying what we want them to pay, but hey, it's money in the bank. Guess what? That difficult client who you just discounted is going to cost you way more time and energy than it would have taken to stick to your guns. And usually we're discounting our prices even before somebody asks for it, right? We're so worried about our value and our self-worth, we're giving it away. And so this is another thing I really want you to work at. We are very uncomfortable with silences. And so from now on, when you start pricing something and when you start giving your cost to a client, I want you to really figure out, not just, you know, I'm selling 3 widgets. What is the value of that? How are you changing that person's life for the better? Okay. When I talk about my courses, I don't talk about you get 3 classes, you get 2 workbooks. What is the transformation? What is the value? Okay. And come about it from that method. And then when you give that price to somebody, I want you to shut up. Stop talking. I don't care if there is 30 seconds to a minute of silence, don't respond, okay? Because the minute you respond, you lose. Because you are going to say, well, we could work out a cost or we could work out a payment plan. BS. Shut your mouth and let the client say something, okay? So I need you to get comfortable with the idea that the value of money is energy. It's coming, it's going, it's going to come back. You know, we all went through a really difficult time with COVID, or, you know, I have a client whose husband lost his job for 2 years. He was out of a job. Okay. That is tough. You start getting scared, but you've got to get into the position of money is energy. It comes, it flows, it ebbs. You will figure it out. We are all strong women. I don't know any woman who, when she's in a difficult position, won't go out there and do what she needs to do. She'll get a side hustle. She will do what she has to do. That's what women do. And that's why you can take the power off it. I promise you, you will always find a way to get that money energy flowing again. Don't worry about counting it. Now, on the flip side of that, also don't be worried about spending money. Okay. Spending money is not bad when it's investing in what you need to grow your business. My business partner, she's been with me for 11 years. I love her to death, but she's the first to say, oh, I can do that. I'll do that while I'm watching TV tonight. And I'm like, no. What you're spending 11 hours trying to figure out, I can get somebody who's a social media person to figure out like that in 20 minutes. Your time is more valuable. Your 11 hours can be spent way better than something that somebody can do in 20 minutes. Okay. If you are multitasking like I am, okay, I get food in twice a week because I can't cook for my entire family and keep doing what I'm doing. I take the stress off. I hire somebody to cook twice a week. That may seem an indulgence. It's not. It's sanity, okay? It is allowing me to be more creative. It's taking the stress off me, because that stress is also make us physically ill. We can't be creative if we are stressed out. So don't be afraid of spending money. Just make sure you understand what it is, what you have, and how to invest it properly for your business, okay? That's the next one. Boundaries. Okay, so, you know, boundaries are, one of the things I want to say about boundaries is boundaries are not about saying no to somebody else. It's about saying yes to yourself. And I want you to be careful about that, because we think by saying boundaries, we're a bad mom, or we're going to insult someone, we're going to hurt their feelings. Boundaries are saying yes to ourselves. Think about yourself. I know every woman in this Zoom either has a partner they're taking care of, a kid they're taking care of, a friend they're taking care of, the community they're taking care of, an aging parent. We will give everything to everybody and put ourselves dead last. Okay, I'm guilty of it, right? My kids never miss a doctor's appointment, but honestly, I'm so embarrassed for the dentist on here. I haven't been to the dentist in a year. Okay, I need to go to the dentist, but you put yourself last. Okay, you need to put yourself first. I created a big goal for myself this year. So as I said, my son died of SIDS. It's 25 years ago. I have never had a real fitness goal. I've always been healthy, but I've never done anything. I'm running the New York City Marathon this year. I'm going to be 57. I've never run a day in my life, but I'm doing it in honor of my son. And I'm saying, hell yeah, at 57, I can be a badass. I can run the New York City Marathon. But in order for me to do that, I got to go to the gym and work out on the treadmill. I've got to be eating the right things. I need to say yes to myself. So instead of saying, no, I can't go to the gym because I have to get these 2 emails done and I have to cook for my kids, I'm saying yes to myself. So find out, look for different areas in your life where you can ask your husband to step up to the plate, ask your kids. Since my kids have been 12, they have been cooking dinner twice a week. Okay, they can make pasta and broccoli, or they can make tacos. They can do that. Okay, so you're not doing any kid a favor by constantly doing everything for them, by teaching them not only to be self-sufficient, but by showing them and modeling to them that you value your time and you value your business and love your business. You are setting them up for success. So don't be afraid of those boundaries. And listen, I mean, if you've got your husband who's probably not going to dig this new you sometimes when you were always doing things, or, you are living with your aging parent like mine who expects everybody to sit at the dinner table together, it's not always going to work. But here's the thing, that's their issue, not yours. Say yes to yourself. Okay. That is super important, super important. And this is a really scary statistic too. And there was an article in the New York Times that it's not just the physical load women have, it's mental load. And so one of the problems I had was, as much as I was assigning my husband something to do with the kids, I was thinking about it the 2 days before of what needed to be done, right? How often do you give an assignment to somebody, but you're already thinking of the 90 million things around it? And there was a statistic that came out that talked about the context switching. So when you're in your groove working, you're talking to clients, you're getting out that proposal, the minute you're interrupted by something else in your personal life or some other area, you lose 23 minutes every time you are interrupted like that. 23 minutes, okay? Add that up throughout a day. So set those boundaries, take it all off your plate. Trust me, your family will survive, your friends will survive. I think that's another big challenge, especially for entrepreneurs, is I used to, way back when Deb knew me, I used to work in the city. So my girlfriends didn't see me around town. I was in New York City. As soon as all of us came home, we may be working our tails off and they don't understand, well, why can't you come out for lunch? Or why can't you do this? They don't understand you're still working. So make sure that you set those boundaries of when you are available and when you're not, okay? And make yourself truly available in those times. Shut down the email. If your boundary for your employees and your staff or even your clients is, I don't look at emails after 6 p.m., okay, but then you do it, that's gypping it, okay? Keep those boundaries for yourself. If you say you're not going to look at emails after 6 p.m., don't. Just do not do it. Shut off that phone, put it under a couch cushion. I don't care what you do, but don't look at emails. Whatever that boundary is, stick to it. The fifth thing is be open to change, okay? We don't necessarily know where the next opportunity is coming, okay? And this is where I work a lot with mindset. Good for you. You scheduled a walk for yourself today. Good for you. This is where I work with my clients on mindset, okay? a lot of my clients want to either build their business, take it into a new level, or launch their business. And I had one woman who was the most amazing interior designer, except no one knew it. She constantly volunteered to do things because, getting back to the imposter syndrome, she didn't think she was good enough to charge for it. Okay, so she just kept going on that way. And I finally said, you are going to get business cards. You are going to set yourself up as an interior designer. Okay, so we got her set up. She started introducing herself. I gave her the challenge of going to a party and introducing herself to 2 people as an interior designer. Okay, she did that. She started making a killing as an interior designer. Okay, all of a sudden, another opportunity came up where, and I guess realtors know this, dressing homes. So have staging homes when they're getting sold. And she had an opportunity come up to stage homes. And she's like, no, that's not what I do. I'm an interior designer. And I said, there is a really, I mean, in Fairfield County right now in Connecticut, everybody's selling their house. There's so many opportunities. And I'm like, you are missing a great opportunity because you're telling yourself, this is not what you do, okay? Be open to that change, especially in this economy, okay? You need to figure out what that path is. As I mentioned, I am the CEO of a nonprofit, and I'm sure the woman online can tell you, a lot of nonprofits suffered mightily last year. Susan G. Komen shuttered all of their local offices because they had one thing, their walk. And when COVID happened, that went down. I was able to build my nonprofit, or the one I run, last year because I diversified how we raise money. Okay, I had our individuals, but I went after grants. I looked at partnerships. I looked at corporate sponsorships. I looked at different ways to get income rather than just events. Okay, so you need to be sure that you're not fighting the tide. The universe is going to bring you what you need. If you are shouting out to the universe, I am available for opportunities, I am available to grow my business, the universe is going to give it to you. Okay, but if you are set in your ways and say, no, nobody's ever done it this way in my business. Nobody ever charges this much in my business. I couldn't possibly do it. Again, that's just a belief. Okay, so change those beliefs, try something new. Don't be afraid to divert. Now, I'm not saying don't know your audience. Absolutely know your audience. But once you're established, if you want to start with a new audience, that's fine too. Okay, so make sure you're always open to that change. Finally, what's your powerful why? Okay, why are you doing what you're doing? As I said, with my fitness goal in the New York City Marathon, I'm running because it's my son's 25th anniversary. That's why I'm running. I'm running because I'm 57 years old and I want to be healthy and I want to live to see grandkids and I don't want to have a heart attack. Those are my powerful whys. So I know the New York City Marathon route. At mile 16, it's like this, okay? If I don't have my powerful why, that's when I'm going to quit. Why did you open your business in the first place? Okay, get back to that powerful why. Think back. I don't care how long you've been in business. Why did you open the particular business you did? What did it feel like inside? What purpose did it serve? That's why I work on mission statements too. Why are you doing what you're doing? Because the only way you're going to get through those tough times is remembering why you did it in the first place. And I want to see you write that mission statement over your desk. I want to see it on your mirror. Post it in your car. What is your powerful why? Why are you doing what you're doing? That is what's going to help you succeed and keep pushing forward. Like I said, also, it's not enough to have that $100,000 goal. What is your powerful why? As I mentioned, my husband has primary progressive MS. In our next house, I want to live by the beach. I am a California girl at heart, okay? But I'm going to need to basically build from the ground up to make sure it's completely accessible for him. That's my powerful why. That is why I do what I'm doing, aside from loving working with women. That's my powerful why. I want to create the beach house of my dreams that's accessible for my husband, okay? So I want you to start thinking back to why are you doing what you're doing. Think about why you're continuing what you're doing. Have that powerful why, okay? Because if not, you're going to constantly hit that brick wall and be exhausted. So that's all I have to say right now. I would love to take questions. I do want to let you know that I have just opened a new class today. It is a 3-week intensive live course, Confidence Equals Cash, How to Build Your Self-Worth and Net Worth. It starts next Monday. It's going to be 3 live classes, noon Eastern time. I'm doing it with my business partner, money coach, Tracy Provost, and we are going to unravel all of those money stories so that you can start getting the wealth that you want and to become financially independent. Financially independent doesn't mean you're crazy wealthy. What it means is you are not relying on anybody but yourself for the money you create. So it's going to be 3 weeks. It's going to be a small group. We're keeping it to 10 so it can be really interactive. We're going to answer questions in between time. We're going to give you a budget that you can start. It's a self-calculating budget so you can get all of that together, journaling tips, and the resources. We're going to hold you up so you can start making the kind of money you want and get the confidence you want, because confidence does equal cash. And when I go into, I'm going to try to go into the chat, and I will write out the link so you can learn more about that. So let me see if I can do that. And in the meantime, does anybody have any questions that they have for me? Oh, first of all, if you want the link to my course, it's at the front of my website right now, Alison-Jacobson.com. You can click on the top and you can get in and see the course we're offering. And as I said, there's only 10 people we're taking. We're keeping it really small and intensive. So if you're interested, I suggest you sign up quickly. Deb, does anybody have any questions? Anything you want to ask me?
Let's say, so if you want to jump, go ahead and hit the mute so that you're no longer muted. I see Rachel is unmuted and I think she has a question.
Not a question. I just wanted to say thank you so much. You touched on so many important points today, and it was amazing. I was in forensics for 10 years before I started my artwork. I was a coroner investigator, so I'm sorry for your son. I understand that more than normal people. Yeah. And I also became a widow 3.5 years ago. And the things that you said about money are so on point, and dating and self-care and everything. I'm like, check, 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 check. Luckily, I learned a lot of these things through grief groups and through, you know, just fate, the way the universe works. But those are all really important things. The money comes. We can always make more money. It's what is it about the money? For me, it's the security. What if I don't marry again? What if I need home care in my 80s? You know, those are the reasons behind things. They're not my motivation or why I do what I do, but those are the things in the back of your mind. And the self-care too is just so incredibly important for all of us. Good luck with the marathon. My knees wouldn't take that, but that is amazing. We all need, and you know what,
you're absolutely right. It's about the peace that you get. I just remember those feelings, and I'm sure those nights sitting up scared to death of how am I going to do it? And you know, it doesn't have to be a divorce, it doesn't have to be with losing income, whatever it is. That peace is worth every penny.
Yep. Great. But thank you. Awesome speech, lecture, information today.
Okay, so Cindy, yeah, because she's unmuted. Here she goes.
So I loved it. I used to live in Richfield, so I know the area well for about 5 years. And yeah, and I dated someone in Wilton. So I used to drive through Wilton on my way to work in Norwalk at that time.
So my new husband, current, lived in Richfield, moved to Wilton. So right there, my stepkids graduated Richfield High. Gorgeous area. Yeah. And I feel like I've just been to a revivalist meeting of some sort. I mean, you are amazing, and everything you said I so resonated with. And you know, I retired last year. I'm 66, moving into that second phase of career, and I
retired from sort of my corporate gig working for Franklin Covey, and now I'm doing this and that. I've got a 3,500 square foot house and stopped my cleaning person at the pandemic and have not brought anybody back because I'm like, oh, well, I'm not getting that corporate income. And I'm constantly frustrated because either I look around and it's messy, or I'm cleaning it and I'm not building up this mindfulness business and coaching practice and things that I really want to do with my life. So I'm asking if anyone has recommendations for like a good cleaning person on this call. Please shoot them to me, okay?
Yes. It's worth it.
Yeah, it is so worth it. And you know, we used to have somebody just come in once a month, and then we'd puff and fluff in between. But I just notice I'm like looking around, and that untidiness keeps my mind, also takes me away from, or the dust bunnies or the dog hair, whatever it is, right? It keeps, I don't like disorder, so it keeps my mind occupied. So just, you might have saved my life just today.
Oh, thank you. Well, go for it. Exactly. And you know, it's so true about that clutter. You know, if anybody hasn't read Marie Kondo, The Importance of Tidying Up, man, you can't make money, you can't be creative if your mind is cluttered. And the energy of clutter, think about a stream, right? If you've got debris in that stream and rocks and everything and garbage, it doesn't flow smoothly. You got to clean that out.
Yeah, and I realized I always said, well, I'm working and I'm bringing in X amount of money, I can do that. And suddenly it's like, well, wait a minute. Okay, so thank you. Yes, and I see, oh, thank you, ladies, for this. Excellent. Thank you all for what you put here, and I'll throw my email in here too.
Good. Anybody else? Allison, you're amazing, and I got mad respect for you. So definitely one of them badass women, so I can always appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and would love to come and visit you guys in person at some point.
Come on, I have plenty of space. Bring the whole family, so you're more than welcome to stay with me. So you have an invitation.
Oh no, I want me time. It's just me.
Well, then come along. We do that too.
Yeah, exactly.
I hold a lot of those retreats, so come on over.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. I will hop off now and talk soon. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so if anybody has any
Can someone
upcoming
put
events,
Allison's last name or information in the chat so we can look her up? Is she on LinkedIn?
Rachel, it's there, and I'll put it in the Facebook group too. And the one thing I would encourage everyone to do with our speakers is please send them, I'll put the email in there, please send them a thank you, connect with them on LinkedIn, make a recommendation. They're giving so much of their time, and they normally charge a hefty fee, and we are so lucky to get them at no cost. So I really ask all of you to please send a personal email. I know so many of you thanked her on this. That's great. So yeah.
Yeah, so I make it a habit of every time we have a speaker, I just log into LinkedIn and connect, and a quick thank you for their time, and then we're linked in, and I can kind of watch them. Yeah, so all right, so if anybody has any upcoming events, share them to the